So Box Hill is the equivalent to what Epping Forest is for East Londoners, for South Londoners. So it had to start from Box Hill. I did this work with an artist from Edinburgh who's also a colleague of mine at University of East London. Some people really have a big commute. Leslie Logue, and we did some work together for an exhibition called The Written Image, which the Scottish Poetry Library and Edinburgh Printmakers did collaboratively. So I'm just going to read two excerpts from the Haibun. The prose part of it is very much a travel piece. You are supposed to be able to follow this. I have to put my hands up, be honest, and say if you do follow this, you'll be going through a lot of private property and 3 live firing ranges. So, don't know. I think I might do it one day. Like I'm always going to do the marathon next year. That sort of one day. Okay, so the first bit I'm going to read. It's not the first bit, but it's the first bit I'm going to read. Is as you've just come out of Surrey into South London. So there's another 4 kilometres or so of wharf developments along the footpath from Wandsworth to Battersea Bridge. Again, the only woodlands are immature street trees, with occasional very small parks with 20-something trees. So you will need to focus on attention on them to find the wild wood here. Battersea Park will come as a relief. It has over 4,000 trees, some of which are as old as the park itself, laid out in 1858. There is a tree walk to follow. Get a leaflet for it from the pump house. There is an old hornbeam which nuts in October, a Japanese pagoda tree from China that is 150 years old and came from a nursery in Hammersmith. Lots of weeping birches and bastard service trees, a weeping elm, and a mixed batch of other sorts of trees, and lots of London plane. Many of the plane trees here are of the Westminster variety, which are usually 19th century plantings. They have a darker leaf and fantastic rugged trunks which are good to lean on. They absorb voices well. Bastard service trees mark the weeping of the birch and elm. Follow the path through Battersea Park, cross Chelsea Bridge, and you will be accompanied once again by mature plane trees on your walk for about half a kilometre up Chelsea Bridge Road, and turn left into Royal Hospital Road to the Royal Hospital. It may be possible to enter the gardens and walk through them. At the end of the road is the Chelsea Physic Garden, which has the largest fruiting olive tree in Britain and the world's most northern fruiting outdoor grapefruit tree. Bow at its feet. You are heading north and won't see its like again. Walk 2 kilometres, plane trees, to Grosvenor Place, turn back up Royal Hospital Road and turn left into Lower Sloane Street. Cross Sloane Square, basking in its leafy plane tree canopy, and walk north up Sloane Street. Here the trees are dwarfed by the scale of the street itself. There is a small garden, however, at Cadogan Place. There are mulberry trees that were planted at the end of the 17th century. You enter the garden at 97 Sloane Street, although it is private, so you may need to enter it under the cover of darkness. Herbert Beerbohm Tree also lived here, a fierce actor-manager who could play the good wild woodsman. Trees Lear lives in the mulberry and mutters in the dark. So, I'm going to move on to the entrance of Epping Forest now. Veer off at the King George's Reservoir for Epping Forest. Epping has been a forest for at least 1,000 years. The trees include birch, service, ash, field maple, sycamore, crack and goat willow, aspen, poplar, rowan, pear, sweet chestnuts, cherry, oak, holm oak, London plane, elm, crab, apple and hazel. Epping was a royal hunting forest, and so trees are by tradition managed by pollarding them. William the Conqueror introduced a system of forest law into England, whereby only the king and those he permitted could hunt in his royal forests. The laws were divided into trespass against the vert and the venison. Trespasses against the vert included enclosing land even if you owned it, assarting, which is the clearing of forest land for farming. Dogs were banned from within the forest, and the bearing of hunting arms were banned. Protected game included fallow deer, fox, marten, roe deer, hare, rabbit, pheasant and partridge. Today the main thing protected at Epping is the wild mushroom, as a fashion for gathering them in the last few decades has decimated them. We stand charged with trespass, guilty as the deer. Head north-east through the Hawkwood, then head east through the woods at Sewstonbury and across the Warren, and then north-east towards Great Monk Wood, passing by the Church of the Holy Innocents within the wood at High Beach. Here you can have tea and cake on Sunday afternoons in the summer and ring their bells. There is a rich colony of dragonflies around the churchyard. Continue through Great Monk Wood to Jack's Hill. Then pick up a path called the Forest Way North by taking the path east from Jack's Hill and then veering off north through Upshire, you making notes, Cropton Green, over Fernhall Farm, across Cobbins Brook, and then north-west at Hunters Fall Farm, through Nazing Park and Nazing, and then pick up the 3 Forest Way path to the West Valley. There are small woodlands at approximately 1 kilometre intervals all along. High Beach rings its bells for dragonflies. Follow the River Lee north, passing Rye Meads, which is an area with a lot of water-loving trees, such as willow, poplar and alder. There are also scrub-type trees, such as hazel, elder, hawthorn and sallow, whose growth is encouraged by RSPB wardens. Bear east at Easley Wood and walk through the woods. Uphill in these woods is a Bronze Age round barrow. It has a fine growth of brambles on its north side. These are private woods, apparently. Follow the north-way-east path to pick up the River Ash and the Harts Way footpath. Follow this northeast to Waters Place Farm, cross the River Ash. Follow the road to Morley Hall's small woodlands, 1 kilometre away, then northeast into Hellam Green and north into the hamlet of Babs Green and enter Nimney Wood. Walk the wood halfway, then bear west across the field edge to Buckney Wood, again along the Harts Way. Past the hamlet of Cold Christmas, where some will end their days. A bridleway leads to an abandoned church looming above a distant copse. On the road into the hamlet, the trees lean over and form a tunnel. Things that might happen here are power cuts, candles that disappear, a haunted 4x4 with strange children staring out of the back windows, gravel that disappears in your pockets. Leave, and leave quick. Cold Christmas, this strange child, gravel in its hands. I think I'll leave it there.